Doug Lesmerises and Stephen Means in Ohio Stadium. Nathan Baird at home sick today. Ohio State, a 56-14 winner over Indiana. C.J. Stroud on the afternoon. 17 of 28, 297 passing yards, 5 touchdowns. Stephen Means, what's your grade?
Can I give him an A and then add a plus just for being a solid human being? Am I allowed to do that?
I don't think on Buckeye Talk we give pluses for being a solid human being. It's very much about how you play.
Okay, then cool. I'll just give him an A then for this time being. I thought he was really good today. A lot of his incompletions, well, one specifically was a drop by Julian Fleming that should have been an explosive play, and Ryan Day said as much. I think he got his groove back and got back to being what this passing offense is, and that's explosive plays. They didn't necessarily swing you all over the place because they didn't need to. It was Indiana. But Marvin Harrison had a quality day. They got the ball to Cade Stover a couple times. I thought he missed him on one, but that's because he was hunting for Marvin Harrison. But I thought an A kind of day for a guy who last week only had 76 yards, 5 touchdowns today. He got back to being C.J. Stroud that we've known for the last 2 seasons.
Stephen, you're going to write a story on Cam Babb that will be on cleveland.com/OSU, but what do you mean by the plus? You know what? Let's give him the plus for good human beingship. What do you mean by that?
So, when Cam Babb took the field, I looked at you and said, I guarantee you Ryan Day is trying to get him a touchdown right now. And that's kind of true, but it's not really how this kind of played out a little bit. Cameron Babb was out there because they took Marvin Harrison off because Marvin Harrison is their best receiver right now. You don't want him getting hurt in garbage time. But he left him out there with the starters because of what had happened on a muff punt that had made it a 49-14 game at that point. So he had to keep the starters out there one more play. But he kept them out there with Cameron Babb. And they got down to the red zone, and it ended up being an injury, so it was an opportunity for them to kind of meet up on the sideline. And C.J. Stroud goes, hey, we should try to get Cameron Babb a touchdown right here, and then they get him a touchdown right there. I mean, it's a perfect opportunity to get a guy who has spent the last 5 years fighting through every injury you can think of to finally have his moment here. And the way everybody reacted to him, whether you were in the stands or on the sidelines congratulating him, I was talking with his parents after the game, they're all types of emotional. CJ kind of made that happen because Ryan Day is just trying to run out the clock and play normal football, and his quarterback goes, no, we should get this guy who's got the block and is probably our best leader a chance to finally have his moment as a Buckeye.
4 ACL surgeries in Cam Babb's career, the longest and most emotional touchdown celebration for an entire team that I've ever seen after that. So, and CJ, a big part of that, CJ Stroud and Cam Babb came to the post-game news conference together, and I think CJ Stroud very much enjoyed the spotlight being on somebody else, on his good friend Cam Babb, and you could see CJ sort of standing back and soaking that in. As good as this offense was, it felt like there were a couple third downs. It was like, oh, they just missed a couple there. I was going to give them an A-. So being a good human probably bumps it up a little bit. But getting the groove back, I thought it was important after last week that they get it back. And I think the passing game is back on track, and C.J. Stroud is back where you want him to be. He's Stephen. I'm Doug. Read us at cleveland.com/OSU and try the texts. 614-350-3315.